Welcome, everyone. Comment your idea for a story you want for the next video. Also, please like and subscribe for daily stories. Today we will listen to the story of a poor soul in an asylum. And now get comfortable and relax. The walls breathe. Not in some poetic, they're closing in on me kind of way. No, I swear to God they breathe. Every flicker of the light strips catches the damp, pulsing ripple in the flaking paint. Like the plaster has lungs and each inhale smells of mold and something sweet and rotting. My shoes slap against the linoleum, but it's so old and warped that it squeals like wet rubber with every step, announcing me to everything in here. I don't know how they got out of their rooms. I don't even know why I'm here. One second I was standing in that long hallway with the orderly telling me, just stay calm. The next I heard the lock on the far door click, and the screaming started. Not from me. Not yet. Their laughter follows me, winding around corners before I even turn them, always just ahead and behind at the same time. They're not chasing me like a pack. They scatter, disappear, pop up in doorways and behind the wire mesh windows, their faces pale blurs pressed to the glass. Some whisper my name. Some get it wrong. Some don't whisper. I round a corner too fast and slam into a wall, knocking the air from my lungs. There's blood smeared there. Not mine. And the smear isn't horizontal like someone brushed a hand past. It's vertical, downward, like someone stood here and let it drip. I keep going, forcing my legs to keep moving even though every instinct tells me to stop, to hide, to be silent. Something rattles behind me, metal on metal, and I glance back just in time to see one of them crawling out of a ventilation grate. His joints bend wrong, too loose, too quick, like he's learned how to make himself inhuman just to fit through. His head jerks toward me so fast I hear his neck crack, and he grins. I run harder. Every hallway looks the same flickering light, the same peeling paint, the same rusted wheelchairs sitting at odd angles like someone abandoned them mid-flight. But then I see it, something different. A door with a window in it, just a small square of glass, and beyond it, blackness. Not a room, not another hallway, just black. I push it open. It's heavier than it should be, and my shoulders ache with the effort. The moment it swings wide, a gust of cold air hits me so hard it burns my skin. It smells like earth, like the ground after rain. I step inside. The door slams shut behind me, and in the dark, I hear them. Not running now, not laughing, just breathing. A slow, patient, all around me kind of breathing. The breathing is wrong. It's not synced. One inhale here, another there, some quick, some slow, overlapping until it feels like the dark itself is breathing with them. My eyes start to adjust, but there's nothing to adjust to. Just shapes that keep melting when I try to focus, as if the dark doesn't want me to know what's in it. Something moves in front of me, close enough that the air brushes my face. I take a step back and my heel lands on something soft. Twitches. I jerk forward, stumbling over my own feet, and the soft thing lets out a wet, hiccuping giggle. My hands search blindly along the wall for a switch, a handle, something, but the wall feels wrong. It's not flat, it's rippled like muscle under skin. I feel it tighten beneath my fingertips. Don't touch, a voice says. It's behind my ear. It's inside my ear. I spin, but the dark spins with me, and I can't tell where I started. A dim light blooms ahead, not like a bulb but like a candle far away. It sways and the shadows stretch, and that's when I see them. Not dozens, not hundreds, just a few. But they're standing in a loose circle, all facing inward toward me. Heads tilted at identical angles. Mouths open. No sound. I try to speak, to ask what they want, but my voice is swallowed before it leaves my throat. The candlelight flickers, and with each flicker, they're closer. One step, another, the sound of bare feet slapping wet ground. A hand darts out of the dark and grabs my wrist. The grip is like wire, sharp and unyielding. My knees nearly buckle. I try to pull away, but the hand doesn't move. It doesn't need to move. The thing holding me just tilts its head, and in the shivering half-light I see its eyes. No pupils, just pale, milky white, like cataracts. Except they're not blind, they see me. They know me. The others start whispering. My name again. This time all of them get it right. The whispering grows until it isn't whispering anymore. It's a chant. My name, over and over. Their voices weaving together into something almost melodic, almost beautiful. But it's pulling at my thoughts like hooks under my skull. The grip on my wrist tightens, not enough to break the skin, but enough that I can feel every bone shift. I try to wrench free, and the figure steps closer, so close I can smell its breath. Copper and something old, like a cellar that's been sealed too long. Its lips don't move when it speaks. You came back. I shake my head, but the shadows behind it ripple, and I realize there are more of them now. The circle has closed. The candlelight is swaying faster, and every time it dips low, their faces flicker from human to something else. Jaws too wide, eyes that roll instead of blink, necks that twitch like broken marionettes. The first one lunges. No warning, no sound, just an eruption of movement. Its nails rake across my chest, fabric tearing with a scream of threads. I stumble backward into another body, warm, slick, and cold hands snake around my throat from behind. I kick, twist, thrash. Something laughs directly in my ear. A high, childish giggle that doesn't belong in this place. The hands on my throat don't squeeze. They just hold, as if waiting for me to stop struggling on my own. The candle crashes to the floor, and the dark swallows everything. Only touch remains. The scrape of nails down my arms, the hot splash of spit on my cheek, the wet sound of breathing that isn't mine. Then teeth sink into my shoulder. It's not a bite meant to kill. It's meant to hold me here. The teeth don't let go. They tear. Not fast, not like an animal ripping flesh, but slow, almost savoring the way my skin gives under the pressure. I can feel each individual point sink in, the heat blooming across my shoulder before the pain fully arrives. When it does, it's like lightning crawling through every nerve, pulling a sound out of me that doesn't even sound human. The one holding my throat finally tightens its grip, not crushing, but enough to tilt my head back until the tendons in my neck strain. I can't see them in the dark, but I feel their faces close to mine, the tickle of breath and the faint slick drag of lips brushing my skin, like they're smelling me, tasting the air before deciding what to do. Hands multiply. I swear there were only 2, maybe 3 before, but now they're everywhere. Hooking under my arms, wrapping around my waist, clawing at my calves. They're not just dragging me. They're testing me, pulling in different directions as if deciding who gets which part. The floor changes beneath me. It's no longer the warped linoleum of the asylum halls. This is softer, uneven, and it sinks. My shoes squelch with each shuffle, and when my knee buckles and I hit the ground, my palm lands in something warm and thick. The smell hits instantly, iron and rot, and when I pull my hand back, it clings, stretching like syrup before breaking. They cheer. It's not loud, not raucous, but a series of sharp inhales, little gasps of excitement, like a crowd watching a game and waiting for the winning play. A voice, low and scratchy, says, "Down." The hands obey. They force me onto my stomach, my face pressed into the damp floor. Something brushes my ear. A whisper so faint I can't tell if it's words or just the sound of teeth clicking together. Then fingers push into my hair, spreading it aside as another set grips my ankles. I try to kick, but my legs are yanked outward until the muscles scream. The first real pull comes then, my body sliding forward over the spongy ground. I claw at it, my nails digging in, but the surface peels away in wet strips, sticking to my hands like skin. They're taking me somewhere deeper, somewhere lower. As they drag me, I glimpse movement above. Something crawling along the walls, keeping pace with us, its limbs too long, its body folding in unnatural angles to stay in the narrow space between ceiling and floor. Its head never stops facing me. Every time my captors jerk me forward, its mouth opens a little wider. The air changes first, colder, heavier, filled with a smell that isn't quite decay and isn't quite dampness, but a mix that settles in the back of my throat and makes me want to gag. The ground slopes downward now, and my body picks up speed, their hands controlling just enough so I don't break myself on whatever waits ahead. It's darker here, impossibly darker. The dim glow from the asylum's flickering lights is gone, swallowed up by a kind of black that feels thick. I can't even see the things dragging me anymore, only feel them. Skin stretched too tight over bone, nails like splinters, movements too smooth to be entirely human. The thing crawling along the walls is still there. I can hear the faint scrape of its limbs sliding in and out of the cracks, like it's burrowing into the structure itself. Every few feet, I hear its neck snap to the other side as it switches angles to keep me in sight. I try not to look at it, but my eyes betray me. And when they meet I realize it's smiling. Not with its mouth, but with the wet gleam of its eyes, like it already knows what's coming. The tunnel or hallway or whatever this is, widens without warning, and the temperature drops again. The floor is now rough stone, damp enough that my clothes are soaked through at the knees and chest from being dragged across it. Something about the stone feels wrong, though. My hand brushes a groove and I realize it's carved. Deliberately. Deeply. The shape isn't anything I recognize. A tangle of curves and lines like veins in rock. We stop. The breathing around me is faster now, more excited. A low hum builds. Not from one voice, but all of them together, vibrating in the air until it buzzes in my teeth. The hands release me all at once, and I hit the ground hard, my palms slapping against the slick stone. For a second, I think they're gone. Then I hear movement all around, circling, the sound of feet slapping wet ground, the occasional scrape of bone on stone. The hum rises, turning into something that feels almost like a lullaby, but wrong, discordant, the notes twisting in ways that make my stomach lurch. In the center of the space, just barely visible in the black, something is moving. Not someone, something. The shadows around it bend inward, like they're being pulled toward it. My breath catches in my throat as I realize it's not moving closer. It's growing. And then the circle behind me closes in, their hands on me again, this time not to restrain, but to offer me forward. They push me forward like an offering, palms flat against my back, shoving until I'm almost on my knees. The thing in the center keeps growing, its outline swelling and folding in on itself like it's made of liquid shadow. I try to crawl backward, but their fingers hook into my arms and dig into my ribs, dragging me closer. The hum is deafening now, rattling my bones, forcing my heartbeat to match its rhythm until I can't tell if it's me or it keeping the pace. My vision blurs, and for a moment I think the air is shaking, but it's not. The walls are pulsing just like the ones upstairs, breathing in time with the thing in the middle. Then I see it. It's not a face, not really, but a suggestion of one, sliding in and out of the shifting dark. Eyes where they shouldn't be, a mouth too wide, teeth like shards of bone jutting in every direction. And when it opens, I hear everything at once. Their voices, my own thoughts, the sound of something chewing in the distance. The hands holding me lift, and I'm weightless for an instant before I fall into it. It doesn't swallow me. It absorbs me. The cold is immediate and endless, seeping into my skin, my lungs, my mind. My body twists in ways it shouldn't, my thoughts scattering like birds from a gunshot. The last thing I see before the dark folds completely over me is the wall crawler leaning close, pressing its face to the edge of the thing, whispering something I can almost understand. And then the asylum is gone. The world is gone. Only the breathing remains. Slow, patient. And now I realize, coming from inside me,